Good afternoon. My name is Mitch Robertson. I'm the Director of Enterprise Systems, Curo Financial. And I wanted to kind of talk to you about why I turn off WPAD and what concerns me about WPAD. WPAD's a web proxy auto discover protocol, which is really kind of cool because it discovers proxies in people's environment or allows people to set up this automatic discovery so that your system automatically knows it needs to go through the proxy. A lot of people use proxies for some interesting things like protecting you from phishing emails, so you get the email all the way in and there's a link in it and it's a bad link. Hopefully your proxy will stop you from going to that bad thing. Occasionally they stop ads from showing up on bad or on good sites that just happen to be connected to an ad site that have had some malicious content on it, as well as many other things. So proxies actually do a really good job, but this auto discovery of the proxy through WPAD has some dangers that people weren't really thinking of when they first designed this. So it's a way for the application to automatically detect proxies and use them. Great idea. However, lately it's been used by malicious actors to gain man in the middle. Think about it. If I can respond to your request for the proxy or for the configuration for the proxy with a bad set of information and put myself as a proxy, then I can get all that information to me, decrypt whatever you have going on, and then re-encrypt it and send it on out. So to you, it looks like you're still going to the website, but I get all of that data. So how does WPAD work? It does DNS request for WPAD. That's it, WPAD. Then it adds on the domain name that's associated with the computer, or adds on all of the DNS suffix search lists. So if you've got a DNS suffix search list, which I'll make a whole nother video about, it could be that it queries WPAD up to 5 or 6 times in your environment just from one WPAD query, which means there's a lot of stuff out there. Interesting thing is most DNS servers are designed to just not respond to WPAD, which is actually kind of dangerous because the fact that they're not responding at all, that means that WPAD request is still sitting out there and the client keeps that open for up to 10 seconds. So it makes it easier for somebody to see that request, modify the packets, and reply with a valid pack file, giving them the information, or reply with a correct DNS name so that the client will connect to that and then pull the pack file from him. So that really makes it easy to take advantage of. So somebody gets in between you and the rest of the world and is able to watch your traffic, they can easily get those DNS requests and respond back to them. I got plenty of time to do it. As a matter of fact, there's applications out there that are designed to just do this type of thing. You just have to build the craft the information, set it up, and then it just waits and watches. And as soon as it sees the WPAD request, it responds and puts your information in there, and now my machine becomes a proxy. So really not a safe thing to do. So pretty cool, but they're taking advantage of these things where, one, DNS servers don't respond to WPAD requests. They're taking advantage of the fact that a lot of machines will do the WPAD request. Every time you open up your browser, your proxy, and many applications, it will do this WPAD request. So they're looking for that, and then they take advantage of it and get man in the middle, which is kind of scary from my perspective. And most companies don't think about the fact that this happens all the time. Even when you take a laptop out of your environment, that laptop will be querying for wpad.yourdomain.com because it's not on the domain, but it's a member of the domain, so it's going to have that. If it still has any DNS suffix searches, a DNS suffix search order that you've applied by registry key or something to that effect, it could query multiple domains, and somebody just has to sit on the wire and listen. The interesting thing about sitting on the wire is a lot of these small shops that have wireless, as well as some of these hotels that have wireless, the infrastructure that they have there is the cheapest they can find, which creates some challenges because it's possible to flood or overflow the switches and often turn them into a hub. And when you turn them into a hub, then every request I make just automatically gets sent out to every device on the other end. So it's not uncommon for somebody to go into a hotel or some other place, connect up to their wireless, and because it's misconfigured, because it's not a decent device, they can listen to all the traffic that's going on, which is kind of scary. And then it allows them to do things like do this man in the middle, which is really, from my perspective, a very scary thing. So one of the settings that causes these WPAD requests, this is an IE, is this automatic detect settings under the local area network settings in IE. For Windows 10, Windows 10 has a global Windows 10 proxy automatic setup that ideally developers could use as they write their applications and say that use the Windows Auto proxy configuration to configure my device or my application to work with the proxy. That doesn't happen as often as you think because a lot of developers still remember the old IE days, so their application has to look and try to figure out for the web proxy. But this is available. And then there's actually an auto detect service that's WinHTTP auto detect that has to be on in order for the those clients to take advantage of that service itself. So this service is well known for creating those WPAD requests. It does some other things for ISOTAP, LLMNR, and many other things. And so in a lot of places I found we can disable it and it's not going to cause any detriment to anything anybody is doing. So my preference is to disable it. The problem is that the application could still be built to query WPAD by itself. And so even after turning this off and turning off the proxy settings in IE and several other things, you often find that you still have WPAD requests going on your network, just because the applications may be written to take advantage of it. So here's a graph from monitoring external DNS requests. In other words, this is a place that has their own external DNS, and they manage their own external DNS, and they have monitoring on their external DNS. So this is stuff coming from the internet to their DNS servers that's querying for domains that they have on those DNS servers. So wpad.domain.com. It's not a lot, but that means it's happening on the internet. That means if that's happening on the internet, it could be happening from somebody's wireless device. It could be happening from Starbucks. It could be happening from McDonald's. It could be happening from the hotel. That kind of things concern me. That kind of thing concerns me. And I've actually seen cases where this is in the hundreds of queries in an hour-long period. This is a pretty lengthy time, and to be honest, some guy sitting at Starbucks waiting for you to do this may take him quite a while. This is from a place that's done a lot of cleanup. The normal case is when I've seen these things on the external DNS and this type of monitoring. Again, if you look back at one of my previous videos, you'll see I kind of have a pet peeve with DNS providers because I don't think they provide enough information, especially external DNS providers, because I want to know what kind of queries, especially things like wpad.domain.com or wpad.mydomain.com. I would want to know about that. And many places that I've been able to get this information, when I've been able to get this information, show up in the hundreds on the external side. So there's usually a lot more happening than you think of. And bad thing is sitting on a wireless network, sometimes you'll see it because the switch that the wireless is connected to is a hub, or there's something wrong with the way the wireless was set up. And so you turn on Wireshark and you will see all kinds of these going on in some of these shops. Not a good thing. Here's a case of internal queries. This is an internal environment, and you can see that they made a change. And when they made a change in April, it significantly dropped the number down. Every one of those colors is a DNS suffix search zone. So you can see there's probably what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors there. That means that WPAD request was searching all 5 of those zones. Granted, the DNS servers were never responding. That was just a request that was happening. Not a good thing. ISOTAP is another one that does something similar. So I tend to like ISOTAP to be turned off, or turn off IPv6 altogether is the best way to do it. You can see that there was an adjustment made in this environment to turn off ISOTAP, and you can see it took effect pretty quick. So absolutely something I would think about if I was running my own environment. Be sure to subscribe to know when more videos are coming. I'm going to try to get a bunch more of these out over the next coming weeks or days. At a minimum, I'll try to get one a week out. So I appreciate your time. Be sure and hit the subscribe button. There's a little bell right beside it. Click on the bell so you'll get notifications so you can see what I'm talking about and what's going on, because I'm trying to paint a picture for everybody to understand some of the basic foundational knowledge that I think is important to being successful, both in security and in systems operations. So I appreciate your time. I hope the video was valuable. Feel free to leave a comment. I try to get to all the comments. Right now I can because I don't have that many subscribers, but please leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Would love to know what you think. Have a great day.